from us. And I want you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it, dancing.
Hey guys, what's cracking? We are back, and today we're going to be looking at another installment of our Pokemon Competitive Encyclopedia. Today we're looking at win conditions. I'm trying to go in a nice kind of flowing order, so after looking at what pressure is and what all these things really are, it's nice to get a look at win conditions actually. So to start off, win conditions are actually So if we look at the pure definition of a win condition is a Pokemon that is, or not a Pokemon, but a situation that allows you to exert pressure. Pressure that is not opposed by your opponent and can win the game, is namely what it is. It's a little different than pressure alone, because pressure alone is a Pokemon's ability to shift momentum, while win condition is a Pokemon's ability to exert pressure that your opponent can no longer stop. So looking at this game, I had a hyper offensive team here that I'm trying out with a Mega Lopunny Gengar core. Now I started off with Azelf just to get my rocks up. Tornadus T, he's led off with Tornadus T. I noticed right away, of course, he's running a rain team. It's a very rain-oriented team. I was expecting a Choice Scarf Thundurus T, which ended up not being, but it's a rain-oriented team, so I was a little nervous because my team doesn't really have a stop once his Swift Swimmers get going. Along with, I don't have a good switch into a Tornadus T, really. So I was a little worried, but we'll see how the game goes. I'll play it. So I just put up my rocks. Looking at my win condition, win conditions are something that you want to have in your mind at the beginning of the game, but you also don't want to necessarily be cemented to. You want to be fluid with win conditions. It's called this concept called adaptive win conditions, where depending on how the situation of the game changes, you're going to change your win condition, which is something that kind of people saw with me. We saw in this game, so I kind of just wanted to demonstrate that, which is why I just selected this game to replay to show you. Another thing I actually want to go over before I start is that a lot of people have the misconception that a Pokemon itself can be a win condition. A Pokemon itself will be the key, the core of a win condition, if you will. But a Pokemon itself is not an entire win condition. Yes, your Dragon Dance Haxorus might be like your last setup sweeper that's supposed to win you the game, but the win condition is the situation that Haxorus has to be in to win you the game. So let's say, for me, looking at this game right now, I figure, you know what, my Talonflame, this is a Swords Dance Acrobatics, my go-to set, my beloved Talonflame set. This is my go-to set. This set is going to be really important for me. It can win me the game potentially if I set up well enough. So I really wanted to emphasize that, but the thing is, you got to realize is that I was not saying my Talonflame is my win condition. What I realized is that once Thundurus is weakened, Talonflame can be my win condition. However, that's not how the game ended up unfolding, because I needed to bring in Talonflame sooner, as you're going to see. So from there, my win condition kept changing, which is important to keep in mind, and you're going to see with a lot of high-level players, they're going to keep changing their win condition to suit their needs. Alright, so he goes for a taunt, which was a good play on my part, so I can't set up my Stealth Rocks, which was unfortunate, and was a problem for him, but I just exploded and really weakened his Politoed, which was good for me. Killing Politoed in a rain team is probably your #1 priority, so I bring in Talonflame, I fake a Choice Scarf set, a Choice Banded Talonflame set. He was thinking he was going to revenge kill me, and I used this opportunity to set up a Swords Dance. Of course, he brought up Talonflame to sponge the Brave Bird, but with another Swords Dance under my belt, I didn't know what move he would go for here. He went for the Gyro Ball, which isn't bad because it did a decent amount of damage actually, but I go for the Flare Blitz. I am a Citrus Berry variant. Luckily, he wasn't a Rocky Helmet, but under rain, Ferrothorn is actually very rarely Rocky Helmet. It tends to be leftovers when it's under rain. But I go for the Flare Blitz. Now he brings out his Tornadus, and I go for the Flare Blitz here. Now, I was very surprised that my Flare Blitz connected first because Tornadus T is generally run with a Choice Scarf. However, he ended up showing that he was not, in fact, a Choice Scarf and was, in fact, a Leftovers variant, which caught me off guard. I kind of wasted my talent flame there, but that's okay. He was bulky. The fact that he took that flare blitz meant he was HP invested, which is something I really was not expecting. But then I'm coming with Lopunny. I was expecting the Scarf Thundurus, but I knew I could outspeed Thundurus, so I did go for a fake out here regardless, though, just because why not? And then I know nothing in his team. I outspeed this. Nothing in this team wants to take this return. And at this point, Lopunny is looking like a good win condition, actually. Bar, of course, his Swift Swimmer is becoming a problem. Of course, Politoed is about to switch in. I'm going to be able to smack this Swampert, which is always good. But of course, its Waterfall is going to do a lot of damage. Lopunny no longer being a possible win condition. Now, at this point, I was pretty desperate on options. Azumarill was looking a little useless against his team, along with Gengar was pretty useless out after speed. And while Bisharp's Sucker Punch, this is Assault Vest Bisharp, while it was definitely useful, wasn't going to be getting a KO on Ludicolo. And Swampert also, like, I don't know, was a problem. I didn't want to play in too many mind games. So, but I did put in my Gengar because the Swift Swim was gone. But at this point, I know my chance to win with Hyper Offense, specifically with a lot of games, at a certain point, if the game is not going your way, you got to realize, like, this game is not going my way. I have to do something crazy. And so what I realized is this win condition is going to be based on me getting Bisharp in unharmed. That's my win condition. So that's the situation, see, and that's the situation in the core. Bisharp being the Pokemon that needs to come in, but the situation being unharmed. That said, other parts of the situation are Ludicolo. The biggest problems with that is that Ludicolo needs to be weakened. I can't be going in on Bisharp, bringing Bisharp in on a fully souped up Ludicolo because Sucker Punch won't kill. I can't risk a Scald Burn. That'll end the game. So I need to somehow lure this Ludicolo out and weaken it. So luckily for me, he does bring in Ludicolo from here. I think he brought in Ludicolo. He brings in Ludicolo, but he does get. And he does go for the Hydro Pump. At this point, I think I'm pretty slim on options. I'm running a Choice Band Azumarill, and luckily my Choice Band Azumarill does take this Giga Drain, and I go for a Play Rough that does connect, with securing my wit. And see, here we go. This is me securing the crazy win condition. With Hyper Offense, it goes this way a lot, but you're gonna see that I secured Ludicolo being weakened and Bisharp coming in full health. I secured both of those conditions, and then those conditions, which secured me the win. So that is your win condition. And so I managed to bop this Ludicolo, removed it from the game. I'm now fine with sacking Azumarill, and Bisharp just can come in and clean up. So as you can see, my win condition changed quite a few times during the match, and I think this is one of the most valuable things a player can have, but also something you want to be caught wary of. And and as we see, I have Sucker Punch the Thundurus. Sorry, this is something you want to be wary of because a win condition that you can adapt is valuable. You want your win condition to be able to change should the situation of the game change. For me, the really big turning point in that game was Thundurus not dying there. Even though I was expecting a Choice Scarf, when Thundurus didn't die, I still had to reevaluate my gameplay. But the thing is, so you have to be able to evaluate your gameplay and adapt it according to what the match demands. But another thing you have to be wary of is you don't want to stray too far from a win condition that still has potential. Because once you start playing randomly with no win condition and no plan, unless you're playing Stall, which doesn't have a win condition and doesn't utilize, because that's just how Stall works, you're going to find that if you aren't playing based on any remote direction with your win condition, or you're changing it up willy-nilly every turn, you're going to find that a lot of times you're struggling to execute higher level strategies. So that's something to be wary of. You want to adapt your win condition and mold it to how the game situation is going. You don't want to constantly change it every turn, like, oh, now I'm going to win with this guy, now I'm going to win with this guy, now I'm going to win with this guy. That will set you up for failure from the get-go. It's a tough thing to get a grasp on, but it is really valuable, and understanding that a win condition is not just a Pokemon, but rather a situation a Pokemon on your team has to be in to win the game for you is really valuable and will really improve your play style. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Hope this was helpful. Kraken Nation out.